Now at Lowe's, faster quotes start at the Lowe's Pro Desk. Got a material list handwritten on a sticky note or saved as a photo? Perfect. Bring it to us and get a quote in minutes. And if you don't see what you need on the shelf, we'll help you get it. You can access thousands of products beyond what's available in-store or on Lowes.com, right from the Lowe's Pro Desk. Build quotes faster and source the materials you need to keep your jobs moving. Just like that, at Lowe's.
Hello, darlings, and welcome to Tags Live, the live edition. This is episode 765. I'm your host for the night, Kodi Maurice Doggett, back in effect in the first chair. Steve will be back next week, and I will be off, so you get 3 weeks of my special guest host tonight, Teddy Alexis. Hi, Teddy. How are you tonight?
Three-peat.
What?
It's a three-peat.
It's a three-peat. Oh, you better get it. We're going to love hearing you on the pod for 3 weeks in a row. I know the people love you. So, yeah. But tonight, are you ready to get into more shenanigans and shenanigans?
Yes, please.
Yes, please. All right. You're so proper and prim tonight. I love that.
I am.
Well, let's jump right into it. We're talking about Pride tonight because Pride is upon us. We're just past the June 1st, almost said January, June 1st date. So that marks the first day of Pride. And so I want to talk a little bit about what Pride means to you, how and where and why it came from, and what that potential it has to be in the future. So, because we're all about growth here at Tags, right?
Sure.
That was emphatic, and I adored it. So thank you so much. So Pride, as you know, started as a protest, a riot, and before it became a celebration. And for many LGBTQ plus people, Pride isn't just about visibility, it's about belonging and community. And that can mean different things to different people, and even at different stages of life. So, Teddy, I'm glad you agreed.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, what does Pride mean for you today in your life as it is right now?
Ooh, that's a big question. I love
Barbara Walters. Okay, so first, before we start, this is my Barbara Walters shirt, so I'm very serious today. Whenever you see, I wear this for interviews when we interview people, and I want to be sophisticated and serious, but also a little slutty. So this is my Barbara Walters shirt. So.
Got it. I never seen Barbara Walters in a sheer crop top, but okay.
She would look better. Okay.
Well, Pride means many things. I think we should gateway ourselves into the conversation for first reminding everybody the historical facts of Pride here in the United States. If that's okay.
Why you're on here. You're historical and fact-natical.
So a lot of people attribute Pride to the 1969 riots of Stonewall, which that is partially true, but there were a lot of advocacy and a lot of movements before that. We don't get to have a Pride celebration proper until the year after Stonewall on that June of the 1970s. A couple of things that happened is that San Francisco, Chicago, LA also joined the celebration or the remembrance. It was more of a rally. It wasn't like a parade proper.
Yeah.
Also, we have to emphasize, and I always say this, that the people that were in Stonewall were basically disinvited from these celebrities, from these festivities. People like Marsha, Stormy Delivery, they were not allowed to deliver speeches in the Pride celebration because
I didn't know.
They were. You didn't know that?
I didn't know that part.
Yeah, because the gender non-conforming people were very inconvenient for the narrative of gay men.
I mean, I understand why, but I did not know that part.
And so it wasn't until I think 72 or 73 that Sylvia Rivera does that very famous speech where she's literally screaming while she's being booed in WeHo of like, we need to stick together and trans people are very important, and like they're just booing. It's like really heartbreaking if you see it with the context of the 2020s now. That scene that she's so right, and she's screaming at the top of her lungs and people are booing her. So those are a couple of things that happen. We do get marriage equality in 2015, very recent, right? Through the Supreme Court ruling of the 14th Amendment. There's so much in that 14th Amendment, right? That is interpreted by the Supreme Court that actually means also same-sex marriage. It protects that marriage is not only for race. So all of that is a very delicate situation that we find ourselves now in 2026, celebrating Pride, where there's been some weird cancellations of Pride. The Supreme Court, for those that are very nerdy like me, do know that they're doing moves in order to do some stuff against our communities. So it is about belonging, but it's also about the historical facts of what has gotten us here through our ancestors of the full spectrum of the LGBT plus community. Does that answer the question?
No, not in the slightest. You gave me a whole bunch of history, which I adored, but you didn't answer. What does Pride mean to you today, Teddy?
Well, I think it means honoring those stories, but also creating our own storytelling, which is what you and I do through this podcast. We do on ourselves as individual artists and artists that have collaborated too. It's that we are not silencing our identities in order to exist, but also in order to express ourselves as human beings. That's what Pride means to me.
I love that. That's so beautiful. And yeah, I completely agree with you. I think for me, it's about all of that and being able to live in my truth and actually go out into the world and express myself and be my actual 100% authentic self out there in the world, in the streets. But also like there's more to it than that. Like being able to express yourself is wonderful. But it also brings like a sense of community to me that I found that I had a lot more when I was younger. And now I guess I'm older and I can see the cracks where they are. So I can kind of see and guess to me how and where all of that is affecting me as a person and the community at large. Because I think those things are things that we have to look at because, you know, the more we are divided, the easier we are to actually separate and knock down. So I think that we need to be looking at unity in this time because it's something, you know, that when we're all together, the stronger we are as a whole. So yeah, I want to talk a little bit more. Oh, okay. Do you have a rebuttal?
No, I don't have a rebuttal, but I do agree with that. And also something that I skipped from the 70s to the 2020s is that we have a huge pandemic right in the middle that it was specifically affected mostly our community, right? And the only way we got through that, it was that there was a lot of unity, specifically in the different cultures that were within the LGBT community. And I highly recommend people to look at the ACT UP movement. There's a documentary on Netflix that is amazing, where they document how they went about serving the communities. And some of it was actually dividing people by their cultural alignments and then having bigger... Yeah, because they will do this plenaries where everybody's there, but they will be like, Latinas come, and then they will say, this is what our community needs. And then like, Asian people come, this is what we need. Black people come. Like, it was really intentional. And because these people were so desperate that they literally are like, I'm going to 3 funerals every week, right? So it was very intentional how they went about it. And if you're talking about unity, you have to look up that movement, specifically in New York, that was very, very highly effective.
Okay, perfect. I'll definitely put some my feelers out there and do some investigations because
Yes,
you know
please.
I love a nice history moment. So thank you for all of that.
Already you have 2 assignments, and we are like 9 minutes into the program.
Yeah, I know. It's just all the homework right now. Don't you know I'm a busy man, darling? But since we're talking about history, you were there at the first Stonewall. How was how was your first Pride when you threw the brick with Marsha P. Johnson and Sylvia Rivera? How was your very first Pride, darling?
Yeah, Sylvia and Marsha are my little sisters, sure.
They are, yeah.
That was good. That was really good.
Thank you, darling. And you were drinking at the same time, so that's 2 points for me. Yeah.
That was a 3-pointer for sure. What was the question?
No, it's basically how was your first Pride? What it's how does it differ your first Pride from your Pride now? I kind of want to know the
Ooh.
contrast because when you're first coming out, I feel like it's more euphoric. I'll go
Hmm.
first. It's more
Yeah.
euphoric. You're more you're newer to the community, so you kind of have rose-colored glasses on. I feel like,
Hmm.
and I think you can see less of what is actually going on in the community, and you are all in for the community and the unity and the things that you
Right.
see out there. So I think that's how it really kind of differs for me right now. I think also I have a greater sense of wanting to and being able to express myself freely out in the world because
Hmm.
again, as I've grown, I found that for me, I noticed maybe I didn't have a hard time growing up as far as my LGBTQ, as far as my gayness was concerned.
Sure.
But now growing up, I was going to do all the acronym. I was like, yeah, let me just be,
Your
but no,
lesbianism, your
I'm not a
queernism,
lesbian. So,
right?
as far as my gayness was concerned, I didn't have a huge struggle. I had a couple hurdles, but now growing
Hmm.
up and being able to see other people's stories, I've come to value what I actually have a lot more. So, yeah, I think that it kind of skewed my judgment and allowed me to be more prideful and more appreciative of what I have. How is it different for you?
Yeah, my first Pride was really, really small and really fun because it was the first time the town did one. It was
The town. Oh, in Puerto Rico,
in
which
Puerto
I'll be in
Rico.
next week. Yeah.
So San Juan, which is the capital of Puerto Rico, which is very metropolitan, it looks very similar to New York. But when you're in the rest of the island, it's more rural, right?
Yeah.
So San Juan had their prides, but I never lived in San Juan until like way later in life. So um, the in Mayagüez, which is where I went to school, they did
That's
a
where I'm
pride.
going.
Yeah, the west
I was
side is
staying in
really really
Mayagüez.
beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
My
there
aunt
was
lives
a
there.
they did a pride there when I was in my 20s. It was a tiny, there was like 5 like little cars. Like it was like the smallest pride you're ever seen, but we were all there. It was really fun and and it was like a big kind of swing because this is way before marriage equality. We were coming out of the 90s, and the 90s were really rough
Yeah.
for us, right? So I always remember that first Pride as a lot of fun. My first Pride in LA was really weird because it was the year of um, what was that shooting in Orlando?
Oh,
Um,
Pulse?
that was it was the day after Pulse was the LA
Oh,
Pride.
the
I don't know if
streets
you
were
knew that.
popping. I did not know.
And there was an active shooter also in LA Pride, so they were almost canceled there. So I decided not to go. So there's always this kind of like string of stories that I have through Pride
Mhm.
that have really have a big impact on me. Fast forward to this year, I directed a play that is called On the Other Side of the Fence, which is a really funny play about these two guys trying to crush a pride party that is $100 a ticket, and they're trying to climb the fence, right?
Mhm.
But their commentary on that play is that the Pride has gotten so commercialized that the last
Oh.
year I went, I didn't recognize any of the groups there. It was just like corporation after corporation, and all the little groups that used to be like the lesbian bikers or like the gay chorus. None of those people were in it, and I'm like, where are all the gay
Well,
LGBT?
the Dykes on Bikes better be there. They're one of my favorites. We have a story coming up about that.
Yes.
So, yeah, I love the Dykes on Bikes. But you were talking about uh, corporations basically taking over Pride. Do you feel like
Hmm.
uh, there is that they should be there? Do you feel like that should be a thing? Like, do you feel like we talk a lot about inclusivity around here, and we'll have
Hmm.
more about that coming up in just a second. But do you think that corporations have a place in Pride right now?
Well, it used to be that they were sponsored the event,
Yeah.
but now what they're doing is that they're also taking part of the parade as part of their sponsorship. And I think I blame the producers on that, because when I'm putting together an event as somebody that has produced events, I put together packages for the sponsors, right? And a
Hmm.
sponsorship can look like, hey, give me money and you get the logo in here, right? All the way to it's going to be like an experiential thing where you actually will be at the event and will be doing something at the event, right? And I get to design what that is, right? So I think that somebody that is putting together these events, it's giving these corporations way too much space, because I'm telling you, the Hollywood Pride Parade last year um, was nothing but corporations. There was like very few community, uh, um, people there in
Programs
the
or
parade.
yeah.
Yeah. So, um, and I'm gonna tell you another like quick story, because I have many. I when at my first job here in LA, I was doing marketing for a very big company, and one of the last events that I did was a pride event in Palm Springs. And that event, what I had to do,
Hmm.
because the people in the Southern California market of that big corporate, it's a huge corporation, like a
Okay.
global corporation. They had space on the parade, and usually what they do is that they will call on their gay employees to be in the parade.
Oh, don't tell me.
What they did
Oh, don't
was,
say it.
because they didn't have any gay, they hired me to hire gay people to pose as employees in the parade.
What? That's worse than what I was thinking.
Yes, yes. So they
Wow.
will do stuff that happened in that parade all the time. What the good thing about it was that I got to pay a lot of queer people a ton of money to just come and like literally be like,
And be in the
"You want to be in the
parade.
parade?" And get paid for it, and they're like, "Yes." um, so there are some weird stuff happening, and I think that through the Long Beach cancellation of Pride, we should be able to do a reset, because I think people have forgotten what Pride, the celebration of Pride, should be.
Oh, I totally
So
agree.
maybe this is an inflection point where we could be like, you know what? Let's go back to the historical necessities that we had, and some of those stuff that are fights that are coming up that are impending for us as a community. Maybe Pride, it's a place where we should be doing that.
And the inclusion, because you mentioned that
Mhm.
thing about Sylvia Rivera and Marsha P. Johnson and many numerous other advocates out there that were not allowed at Pride. Do you think that
Mhm.
LGBTQ plus spaces and Pride in particular, do you think that they are including all of those people and making sure that they are seen and that they are their voices are being heard out there? Do you think Pride is doing a good job of that? And
That's a
I'm not just talking
that's
about trans people. I'm talking about
Yeah,
people of color, not gender
absolutely.
non-conforming people, all of the things, other marginalized group, everybody that's not just
Yeah,
white, young, muscly. I'm talking about ageism too. There's a
yeah.
lot of that in the community. So, do you feel like these voices are actually being heard throughout Pride?
Yeah, I think what you want to say is that it's the marginalization of people within the marginalized groups, right? Which
Exactly. Are
is
their
which
voices
is what
also being heard in Pride as well?
I think that that's a question that we have to look at the different prides, right? Because now every city have their pride and they go about it very differently. Um, but I did see that they were attacking there was this group of trans women that had some advocacy messages in Pride. This is maybe 2021 or 22. It was the first Pride right after the pandemic, like the first parade. And I remember there were some people like, "Oh, you're ruining Pride. Pride is not." I'm like, "No, Pride is about protest. Like that is like literally how it started." So I think that there's still some work to be done, because these activities reflect the global attitudes of the people. And we
Yeah.
were talking about the United States. I don't that we have so much of unsolved conflicts that
Yeah.
it will sweep through Pride as well.
Yeah.
Do we have a comment? Do you want me to
Oh,
read it?
yeah. Thank you. Go right ahead.
Okay, so Doug said our Pride last year was an all lesbian rock band. Ooh, as well
That
as a
sounds
lot of
fun.
food trucks. Although we only had one corporate sponsor, Walmart. Oh, nice, Doug. Where are you based? Because I do you know?
I feel like I should, but it doesn't come to me right off the top of my head. But yeah,
Okay,
I hear
we'll
that,
circle back to that. That sounds fun
and
though.
yeah, that definitely sounds fun. And I feel like as far as what corporate sponsors are doing, I feel like they should be seen and not heard, like they say children are supposed to be. But I don't agree with that. um, but I feel like yes, as far as sponsors are concerned, I feel like if you it's so easy for them to turn on our community. So I don't feel like they should
Yeah.
be the front facing things of people as far in the parade and things of that nature. And as far as inclusivity is concerned, I feel like we're jumping around a
Mhm.
little bit.
That's okay.
I think we have a lot of space and a long way to go as far as all of the people that belong in this community being heard. They're
Mhm.
already trying to erase the T from the LGBTQ plus acronym, and
Mhm.
I'm hearing more and more gay male voices saying that that doesn't belong. So I think that that is something that needs to be addressed in this community because the T is an important part of our acronym, just like I feel like the L is as well. So I feel like,
Yes.
the whole thing is important, but I feel like we should not be out here trying to erase voices. We should be amplifying voices as Pride is supposed to be done. And Black and brown voices, especially, because I feel like there's way too much racism in the community as far as, uh, I've been on the apps before and I've been called all kinds of names
Mhm.
and so I really think that that is something that needs to be addressed, and I feel like Pride is the perfect platform for us to really dig deep and make sure that we are addressing these issues that are in our community because this is the time when we are celebrating ourselves, but it could be also the time where we look at ourselves and try and improve ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely. And
And
and,
Doug
and
says
the
he's
thing,
in Reading, Pennsylvania.
Reading. So the thing with the sponsorships is that I think that we can take control of these narratives and be intentional about the sponsorships that we're bringing in. Remember when Target was like had a whole aisle of
Who?
Pride and yeah,
Girl, that's who
exactly.
I meant. That is exactly who I meant, and
No,
they flipped on us. They turned on us on a dime. So I feel like it was a cautionary tale for I feel like all of the community because if they could be so gung ho, they had a whole section dedicated to Pride. I've been there.
mm-hmm.
I used to love Target,
Yeah.
and then they completely took it out, and I was going to say they completely gutted it, and then now they're doing these things. They're decreasing their DEI, which includes LGBTQ plus people, and I think that that
Yes.
is just it's a sign that these corporations, at the end of the day, they're in it for themselves. They're in it for the money, and they're going to go where the money is. And I can't blame them, but I'm also not going to put my faith and my trust in them.
Absolutely. And if those corporations are taking the space of, community partners, which can be exposed and can also bring more of their business, being in a pride parade can really elevate your game, and we're putting these people in there that had nothing to do with us. So I think that we're in an inflection point to really examine that for sure.
So talking about people who are not
Hmm.
actually for us, guess
Uh-oh.
what I just saw on Instagram?
Hmm.
I saw that
Uh-huh.
Kathy Hilton is going to be the Grand Marshal of WeHo Pride. And
Is she really?
she's at least, yes, she is. I just saw it. They announced it today, and she's at least Trump adjacent. She might not be full blown MAGA, but
Uh-huh.
she supports Spencer Pratt, who is
Uh-huh.
he's questionable. But so my question to you is: can the unity that we feel during Pride does that overcome like political divides and things of that nature?
I mean, I think that our existence are political, right? I just think that when your community, I don't think we have the privilege of ignoring politics,
Okay.
um, because so much access of the things we have to fight for, right? Just even the ability to engage with marriage with our partners, which is like
Hmm.
one of the basics of the human behavior. So I just think that you can separate. Um, we hope Pride is this weekend, so I don't really know what their programming is gonna look like. Um, we hope be trifling sometimes, man. They be trifling. uh,
I saw that and I was like, ooh, it's not even in the notes that I sent you because I literally
yeah.
saw it before we came on. Yeah. So,
Um,
look, I hear you.
uh-huh.
I agree with you. I think that our existence are political. Uh, I think maybe back in when our rights and who we are as human beings, and then we have a couple stories coming up that show how uh, detrimental this administration has been to LGBTQ plus folks. So
Mhm.
I think that anyone that aligns himself with that administration or is even just complacent with it, I think that that is a tell as far as where their support lies, and I don't think it's with the LGBTQ plus community, unfortunately. So I really I don't I would like to say I don't really see, I don't want them at Pride. I'm just going to say it. I really and I know that I can't like ban anybody from feeling pride. Like I'm a
Mhm.
black person. I always say you can't take anybody's blackness away from them because they grew up black. Even
Right.
the black Republicans, so they lived
Mhm.
their life experience as a black person, and you can't take anyone's gayness away from them either. However, when you become in opposition to the community, I think you should lose some privileges as far as being accepted into that community because you have done things to actively harm the community. And I think that's one of the five cardinal rules that you should not be breaking. And I don't know what the other four are, but I know that's one.
You're like the wolf food. You just make them up along the
I,
way.
oh my God. You get a princess point for that one, boo. Okay.
It's like, how many principles are there? There are 4. Yeah, I don't even
Oh
know. I don't
man. I'm
even know how
Noxzema.
that
I am
happened.
Noxzema. Okay.
Yeah. Everybody knows I'm Chicho Rodriguez. It's okay.
Not because you're young either. Anyway, continue.
They call him Cha Cha because she's the best dancer with the worst reputation.
Oh.
That's from Greece, bitch. From
Is
Greece.
it? I don't.
Yeah.
I've only seen that movie like once. So yeah.
Mm.
All
They
right.
lead.
Any. Oh really? Stop. Teddy, let's focus back up. Yeah, so any final thoughts on Pride and how you're feeling and what you're excited about Pride? Tell me what you're excited about.
I'm excited to go to the parade. I think I'm gonna go, and just to kick it a little bit, something light. My back is not what it used to be. Wink, wink.
From having it blown out so much. What?
Yeah, my feet hurt. We'll
Yeah,
do
I
what we
hear
can.
you. I'm excited to, be with my friends and experience community. I just can't I really enjoy being able to be out there and be super gay and on
Hmm.
Gay 1,000 and just let loose. It feels so good to actually be in the street and be authentic. Kiss a boy on the street, do all the
Hmm.
things that you want to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I'm excited about.
Happy Pride.
Happy Pride, everybody. Yeah, that's the true meaning of Pride. The true meaning of Christmas, Mariah Carey. That's what it is, right?
Hmm. Right there.
So, moving right along, we're going to go on to our hot topics now. So, our lead story is about my favorite part of Pride. It's the Bites with Dykes. In 1970, San Francisco's first ever Pride celebration that Teddy so eloquently told us about without having to read, because I have to read this. It took place on Polk Street with a small group of LGBTQ plus people organizing to mark the first anniversary of the Stonewall riots in New York City.
Yes.
What began as a small word of mouth event grew rapidly, turning into the Christopher Street West celebration in 1972, which drew some 2,000 participants and 15,000 spectators. And then there was the Gay Freedom Day Parade. But in 1976, something magical happened that would forever change the trajectory of queer history. During the Gay Freedom Day Parade, a group of brave motorcycle-riding lesbians made a seemingly inconsequential and impromptu decision to move their bikes to the front and claim their space. Somebody coined the name Dykes with Bikes, and a Pride tradition was born. What do you think of the Dykes on Bikes? Dykes on Bikes. I love it.
I love it so much. I love Dykes. I love lesbians. They're one of my favorite peoples. One of the best vest that one of them is wearing in this picture says, "I love pussy, hey cunts." Yes.
I love it. Yes. And they're so integral in our community, and a lot of our community would not be readily accessible if it wasn't for them, because they did so much during the AIDS movement, and I think they
Yes.
deserve that space right up front. So yeah, more power to them, and I can't wait to see them. I have to get up early, but I'll do that. I'll make that sacrifice for the Dykes. So
Yes. And as an homage to all of their work is lesbian to the front all the time, and that's how we start our acronym with the lesbians.
that's right. That's right. Moving right along. Less than a year after the Trump administration eliminated the specialized LGBTQ plus youth option within the 988 suicide and crisis lifeline in California, lawmakers are advancing legislation to bring it back in California. Assembly Bill 1540, introduced by Assemblymember Mark Gonzalez, would require California officials to establish a pathway for callers to dial 988 and connect directly with counselors trained to work with LGBTQ plus youth in crisis, effectively recreating the Press 3 option that disappeared nationwide last summer. The bill passed the Assembly last week in a 64-8 vote and now heads to the California Senate. Teddy, what do you think about this bill? Because the article mentioned that it is, in its 3-year run, it approximated about 1.5 million calls. So I think that's a significant amount of people.
Right.
So what are your thoughts on getting this bill to get the hotline reinstated?
Well, it's very important. So, what we know about people that are either suicidal or have suicidal thoughts, what we call suicide ideation. You, as a LGBT person, you're more than likely to be suicidal, and the people that identify with that intersection are also more likely to actually go through with those actions. So what that means is that our community is more in danger than any other community within those parameters, right? And that's why the creation of these hotlines were created. A lot of people know the Trevor Project line, but that's where those fundings come from. It's very similar to what they put together, but it's also other clinics that do that service. I actually have a friend of mine that work on those hotlines, and he said that to me in confidence that there is a lot of traffic on this thing. So even though people that work full time, they're not even enough. So we already were a short staffed in these lines. So what this administration did, and by the way, they've been doing it. Now they like straight up cut it, but they've been nicking at it for a couple of years now. The funding was going down and down and down, and what they did to our community is very severe, very scary, and it's gonna cost lives. So there's blood on their hands, because what happens is when these people are trying to reach out and they don't have people that have that training to understand LGBT youth, then mistakes are made, and that was something that was also documented, and that the need arise for people that were specifically trained within our communities, because a straight person in a straight line is not going to understand what you're going through when you're telling them, I told my parents I'm gay, and they don't want, like, that is something that they probably don't even have context for.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that California is bringing it back, but what about all the other 49 states and territories? Like,
Yeah.
they need services too. So
Yeah.
it's
I
scary out
agree.
there.
We cannot call California, but there's not enough
Yeah.
people as there is. So yeah, I agree with you. I think that this needs to be addressed on a countrywide platform and not just in California. But I'm glad that they are fighting the good fight and they're actually leading the charge on this, because they do recognize that there is a need. And anybody that I say all the time, I think like they are all about lives until that the people are actually here in the world. They really care. The far right, they care about saving unborn children until they're actually
Right.
children. And I think that is something that is clear, and with them trying to take away this line, because it could actually save so many lives. So yeah.
I mean, I live down the street from the LGBT center housing facility, and here in LA, which but for those that don't know, it's a housing facility that helps youth that are unhoused. And a lot of people talk about them like runaways. No, these are people that got kicked out or their houses, and they're minors. So talk about getting rid of a kid, and they're just some of them sleep in front of because they don't have enough beds for everybody.
Damn.
So it's those are things that you see, and it's devastating.
Yeah, that's really sad. Wow. Well, my heart goes out to those kids, definitely. And California, keep doing your thing. We have to move on. So the bitter legal battle between Patagonia and Patagonia, it's still ensuing. And that's Patagonia.
Patagonia and Patagonia.
Oh,
Patagonia and Patagonia.
Well, Patagonia is the company because they are the one that is causing all the problems.
They're the Patagonia.
But yeah, Patagonia is a drag queen. I think she's from Australia, but
is she?
I'm pretty sure I should have got all that information together before I came on, but here we are. So the drag artist trademark tiff with the outdoor clothing brand has new developments from both sides. Early Monday, the company uploaded a statement to its Instagram on the first day of Pride Month, by the way, with conditions that she must follow in order for Patagonia, the outdoor clothing brand, to drop the lawsuit that they have filed against her, Patagonia, in January. The stipulations state that Patagonia, we need to call her Patty, because Patty must withdraw all trademark applications. She must cease using its logos, and she must stop selling and promoting apparel and other products as Patagonia. But Miss Patty, say my name, said hell no, maintaining that one of the company's demands to stop selling and promoting apparel and other products as Patagonia would destroy her ecosystem of partnership work centered on activism and advocacy. What are your thoughts about this trademark feud? And do you think... Oh, thank you, Teddy. Patagonia, Patty, is from Lincoln, Nebraska. Yep, there you go.
I don't know where you got Australian from.
Australia, Lincoln, Nebraska, Australia. Okay, Queensland, exactly. What are your thoughts about it?
The new Down Under is in Nebraska.
The new Down Under.
Well, I mean, I think that that sucks, because part of the drag persona, it's to in the spoof of it, of the things, right? So your name is something that sounds like, right? Is your name is Ariana Grinder, like things like that, right? So it's going to be um kind of an uphill battle for her, I think, because um the trademark that they have,
Yeah, that's what it
they're
is.
really trying to what they're trying to say is that she's selling clothes that looks like their brand. Which anybody that knows anything about drag queens knows that I'm getting this merch from the drag queen. She's not boosting the
Oh my God. I saw I Love
talking about,
Boosters yesterday.
right? Talking about boosting, it's just that that's not what she's doing. But the legalese, and it's gonna be expensive for her also to fight this. But I
Yeah.
understand. It's like, if I can sell merch, where is the money coming from? Because you can do so much money from the bookings. You always have to diversify your income.
Yeah. That's what RuPaul
So
taught me.
yeah. So I feel for her. I feel like this is something that it's going to really, whatever the decision is from this case, I think it's going to change how people go about naming themselves after
Yeah.
brands and things like that. Because if it cuts your ability from selling merch, then I think that's a big loss for the drag community. Go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, I get it though, because, and I don't want to be on these big, I just did a whole thing about how big corporations, that all they want is money. And that's what this is a cash grab. But I just looked at her logo, and from what I can discern, it is very similar to the Patagonia, which is not even like, they didn't even make that up. It's a region in South America, Patagonia. So
I know La Patagonia.
how do you trademark that exactly? But obviously they did, and the label or the branding that Pattie Gonia, Miss Pattie, is doing, it's the rainbow flag instead of like some different colors and mountains, and that's literally it. That's the only difference. So I can see how people could get it misconstrued. I'm still on the drag queen side because
Right.
she's doing what she got to do, and honestly, that's why. Did you know Jan from Drag Race? Her original name is Jan Sport. So, but Drag Race had her change it, and so she couldn't be Jan Sport anymore because of all the legalities around that.
Oh, interesting. Well, the same thing with Cardi B. Cardi B used to be
Cardi B was on Drag Race. Oh
no, but her name was Bacardi. The name that she would go as a rapper was Bacardi.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I should know that.
Yeah,
I love Cardi B.
Yeah, so then she just changed it to Cardi B. You see, she put the B at the end. So
yeah, that's
so
what we always do. We put the B at the end.
But I think the best argument, I'm not a lawyer, but I'm just saying that the best argument is to go through the what we called, it's not spoofing, but it's very similar. Oh my God. I have the when you're like making fun of somebody.
Yeah.
What is the name of that?
What Weird Al Yankovic did it, and I can't think of the word either.
That's literally all his career. It's just like,
that's what you guys know. Weird Al Yankovic did it. Okay.
Yeah.
He's a parody. He's a parody? No, that's not it.
Parody. That's what it is. Like if she claims that what she's doing is parodying work, when you're parodying work, you can use the original IP without paying for royalties because your work is considered original. So
that hurt a little. I'm sorry. My brain is now. Yeah, that hurt my brain a little.
Well, basically, so he
no
can
thinking of words.
I know. I was like, I know what the word is. I know what it means, but I don't know what the actual wording is. That's why Al Yankovic can take Bad from Michael Jackson, do a whole different version with the same chords, the same bridge, everything the same, but he's parodying Bad, and so then he can make money off of that. So I think that's the argument that she can have, and this is going to be consequential, I think, for the drag community.
Sweet. Yeah, I hope that everything works out for her. But moving right along to more drag queens, because they originated. Sure. They really are a pillar of our community, especially during Pride Month. So But this one's about RuPaul. Before even being released in theaters, RuPaul's film Stop That Train has faced social media speculation and even calls for a boycott over the rumored use of
Oh my
generative
god.
AI for special effects. However, a source for the upcoming action comedy film, co-produced by Unapologetic Projects and World of Wonder, the company that created RuPaul's Drag Race, confirmed without that no generative AI was used in the making of this film. Teddy, what are your thoughts about AI and RuPaul? Is RuPaul AI? Is she a computer?
I've seen her in live, so I can confirm that RuPaul is
She
a
could
real
be a
person.
stepper-bot. She could be a stepper-bot.
I didn't touch her or interact with her. I just saw her walking past me.
She's a
Um,
hologram.
she's big. She's like 6'3", 6'4". It's interesting because now it's like an automatic, like a scarlet letter
Hmm.
that the AI using the AI, but the students are using it all the time, and it bothers me. But I think that we need, in order to stop it, I don't know how to stop from people using it around me. What I think about the AI stuff in the movie, as to me, is like you can use it as long as you're not using it to replace people's work, right?
Yes.
So there are things that in movies that AI can help. Like, for example, the movie Interstellar, they recreated a black hole, and the amount of computing that they used to do that took a long time. I bet that now with the AI computing powers, it can take less time. I feel like that for rendering and things like that, that would be a great use of that. However, I wish the United States would figure out to do these things without really messing up with the environment, because
Yeah.
there are other countries that are going about it very differently, right? They're not using water to cool down their stuff, they're using wind, right? They're using regenerative and natural resources, as opposed to draining down small towns from their water. So
In urban
those are
areas.
yeah, so those are things that we have to think about, and I don't think there's enough advocacy around it. um I don't think the movie is using AI if they're saying that they didn't use.
Yeah.
um it wouldn't matter to me, especially if it was just to fix some of the special effects, because that is computing anyways. People do make their art, but you can actually enhance it with it. um that's where I stand, and I think that a lot of people are using kind of like this cancellation thing, without really doing the proper work in and informing themselves. Because if they're saying they're not using it, it's like, because something looks computer generated doesn't mean that is AI. It could be an actual computer generating it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this all came from one particular person who screened the movie early. They thought that it looked like it was AI, and apparently they see a lot of movies because they were invited to the screening beforehand. But I'm one of those people that was, oh, okay, I guess you're fancy then.
No, I'm gonna tell you what happened.
Okay, go. Yeah.
So that person got invited to an early screening, which means that the movie was still being workshopped. And when you go to
Was
an
being
early
rendered
screening,
still. Aha.
there's
You
still
know what? You said it, and I
things
was like, yes.
things are missing. I've seen musicals where you're like, wow, 90% of that musical number, it's gonna be on special effects and nobody knows. But because I went to a special screening in Burbank where I'm giving feedback to the movie makers, then I'll see it. And by the way, part of the agreement of going to a screening is that you're not gonna talk about what you saw in the screening.
Sue the bitch.
But girl, not only you were wrong, you're also kind of lying to people. But that's okay.
Yeah, but I was one of the people that was ready to not see the movie because they
Right.
said that most of it was because, like you said, if people's jobs were being taken away from them, and I think that is a bridge that we shouldn't be crossing. I also think that AI should not be used for, and I've said this before, should not be used for creative works. I used AI today to get ideas on how to frame the show. I didn't let it choose for me what I was going to
Right.
say and what questions I was going to ask and how the discussion was going to be formulated, but I did use it to get some ideas. So I don't think it's a
Right.
bad thing. I think it's a tool that can be used very well. And like you said, there are a lot of computing that can be done and done much faster through AI. And I think that that is a good thing. But I do not want it to replace creativity in the world because it's not going to be able to correctly copy or mimic anything that a human being come up with.
Yeah.
There's
The
like AI
creativity is not
singers out
there.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
No.
just it's not a
The
human. It's
I
not coming up with anything creative. It's just
absolutely.
rehashing things
Yeah.
and vomiting it back out, like absorbing things and vomiting back out. So, yeah, I was ready to boycott, but I'll go see it now.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have a lot of drag queen movies, so I was
Yeah, I
excited
want to
about it.
support. Yeah,
Yeah.
just like I'm excited about Leviticus that's coming out because we don't have a
Woo!
lot of gay horror movies out there, and that one's about two gay men in love, and they go through this conversion camp, and the demon that they sick on these people is presents itself as whoever you love. So I think that it sounds like a great movie to me, and I can't wait to go see that. But yeah, do you have any
Mhm.
thoughts on Leviticus? Do you want to see it?
I've seen the trailer.
Okay.
And yeah, it looks very interesting. It looks very scary. So yeah, I'm gonna
That's
go
what I
see
love.
Leviticus. I'm glad it's not Leviticus, the other Leviticus that we know. If you know what I
Oh
mean.
man, I know what you mean. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. All right, let's do some Reddits. Are you ready?
Yes.
Yes.
Mhm.
Well, the first Reddit comes from Reddit. And it says, how did you
Reddit
guys
from Reddit.
know? Reddit from Reddit. Thank you, Reddit, for writing in. Let me ask you guys something, how it starts. I'm in the process of figuring out at 31, but I love hearing it
Mhm.
from others who have gone through it already. How did you know when you were gay? And I mean, no, in the way that you're not thinking you might be, or there's a hint that you might be. Like, how did you guys actually fully, without a hint of doubt, know? Teddy,
Ooh.
how did you know that you were gay?
I always knew. I came out of my mother's womb with a fan
But
and some
you,
heels. I just was always attracted to boys. So and that's
yeah.
and
Well,
and,
okay, continue.
and I think that was very evident to me. So and because we watched this show called Christina, which is like the
Okay, this is
Cuban
what I
opera.
wanted because I was gonna get you.
Yeah, no, so we used to watch that and she used to have gay people in it. So it would just be like, oh, that's who I am. Like they would be like, yeah, I like boys. And my sister, who was like very mischievous, she asked my mom, she was like, Mom, this is my twin sister, by the way, everybody.
Mhm.
Mom, what would you do if one of your kids it's gay?
Oh my god,
And my
your
mom like looked at
sister.
her. She like shade. And my sister and my mom was like, just love him like all of my other kids.
Ooh,
There's
not
no
him.
difference. Right?
And she pointed at you. She was like, "And just love him."
I love him.
Just like I love any other my kids that are not him, and pointed back at you.
The one with the pink boa, I love him. Yeah. You know, I think what the problem is with Powerful Agent from Reddit. I think
Thank you. I was looking for it everywhere.
I think that his problem is that it's like some of this language is very cut to boxes, right? And some of us live in the spectrum, so not necessarily you are a gay man that only likes men, right? You can be bisexual that turns mostly to men, or somewhere else, right? So I think that that's why he's having these kind of doubts about him being
Yeah,
gay. It might
because
just
he
be
might be
that you're
attracted to
to women
women as
too.
well. Yeah,
Yeah.
and how I knew that I was gay was like
Mhm.
you. I had been attracted to men for my life. Ever since I
Yeah.
was growing up, I was like, oh, he's cute. Oh, he's cute. I think women are beautiful, but I feel like it wasn't the same growing up as far as
Right.
like looking at a guy. But then I really knew when I started watching porn,
Right.
and the lady could just go away, and I wouldn't.
Right. Do
I
we
wouldn't even
have?
care.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Do we have a couple seconds for some historical facts or no?
Oh, we love a historical fact,
At
Teddy.
the last 5 minutes. So depending on what civilization you're looking at, but a lot of people love to look at the Asian European civilizations. If you look like Greek and Roman, like prior to year zero, which is the birth of Jesus Christ, um, these communities, they don't have concepts of gay or straight,
Okay.
because the way that they went about living was kind of segregated by gender. So men hang out with men, and guess what? Men fuck men all the time, but they also engage in marriage and have kids and do things with women. But most of the time, they had a bestie, somebody that they will mentor that was a younger man, and they will do things with them. So you have to look, and I highly recommend, especially the people in the United States, look at what the indigenous people did, because they're also different path to what some indigenous people did. Some of them did have two spirits, and they do engage into same-sex relationships. So it's very different to what the concept that we have today, where um, these things what my point I'm trying to make is really societal,
Okay.
our behavior. So you have to look at different civilizations and see how that influencing you. And most of us are multicultural, so we have to look at 2, 3, 4 cultures to see what our like ancestry look like.
Ancestral. Yeah.
So it's like another assignment for Pride. Hey,
I
it's gonna be
mean,
fun.
thank you. That was so fascinating. I didn't fall asleep at all. Not one. I did not, I didn't even close. I didn't rest my eyes at all. Thank you so much, Teddy. That was fantastic. And
Okay.
Doug says his gay awakening, how he knew was
Mhm.
early 90s Joey Lawrence. Do you remember Blossom?
Ooh, yes.
Fine, girl. Just fine. If you don't know it, Google it. And
I
speaking
know
of
who it is.
fine men, we're going to play a
Uh-oh.
little game. And
No thanks.
I don't. Teddy's not interested, but we're gonna play anyway because I had to listen to that whole diatribe of him talking about two spirits. I'm just joking. I'm joking. This is for the audience. This is not for me and you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
So we're gonna play One Gotta Go, and this is because we don't have a thirst trap. So I figure we should just play a little game and see some hot
Yeah.
men's. So
Yes.
we were talking about the heated rivalry, folks, last week, and I was going to try and talk
Mhm.
about them again tonight, but our conversation just got so in depth. Shout out to them winning at all those Canadian awards out there. So
Yeah.
heated rivalry, go go go. So I put the 4 leads in heated rivalry. Hudson Williams, I'm going to just put it on the screen now. Hudson Williams, Connor Story, Francois Arnaud, and BJ, I forget his last name, but it doesn't matter because he's really hot. And basically what you have to do is say which one of these guys you would kick out of the orgy. So Teddy,
That
out
is
of
so
these
rude.
4, what?
That is so rude.
Robbie GK is his name, not BJ anything. His name is Robbie GK. So
Okay.
which out of these 4 beautiful humans, and they're all beautiful, so there are no wrong answers here. So who are you kicking out of the orgy?
Am I? We're going one by one, or do I just get to keep
No,
one
you just
person?
pick one. You just
Okay.
keep it short and sweet and simple. There's no dissertation for this, honey.
I need to kick out Hudson.
Really?
Yeah.
He's so cute and he has such bottom eyes.
He would exactly.
Oh, okay. Now I get it. I just
Yes.
answered my own question, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. And also, I think he's straight in real life, so he can.
He's straight in real life. But okay, disassociating reality right now, and I'm saying that all of these guys are gay. They're in heated rivalry. They're all homosexual. Based on looks alone, I think I'm kicking. Well, no, not really based on looks alone, because I have a little caveat as well. I'm kicking Francois Arnaud out because I heard that he's dating Connor Story, so he's got to go in the orgy because Connor has to focus all the way on me. And this is just a rumor, guys, and so I'm not really sure. So yeah, he's got to go for me. So that was our fun little game, and thank you for
I want to
Teddy.
keep Connor too. I want to keep Connor. I think
I want to keep him for myself. I think we're splitting. Me and Connor are splitting off, and we're going to do our own little thing in the other room because he is my favorite. All right, time to close up the show. That's our show, folks. You can follow our special guests at Teddy Alexis on Instagram. You can follow me at Mr. Maurice on Instagram. You can follow the show at tagspodcast.com. And don't forget to check out the Patreon as well, where Steve is updating us on his Iceland trip. And you can go ahead and follow Steve too at IM_Steve B on Instagram. Well, that's our show. Thank you, everybody, for showing up and showing out. And in the meantime, continue having hot gay sex.
Yes,
bye,
honey.
everybody. Thank you, honey.
Honey.
If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening.